What an amazing video we have for you today. China's cracks are really starting to show, and you'll never guess what country is seizing the moment. And if you're thinking and you're guessing who that country could be, let me throw this out to you. How about India? Yes, India. And if you are really interested in learning more about what's the big picture here, stay tuned because I think you're going to find some real value in this video. And I want to remind you that I give these videos on a daily basis. They get delivered right to your inbox with a like, a subscribe, and as always, I'm always open to your comments because I do respond to everyone. But let's carry on with the video. So China isn't blinking, or so it seems, but behind the polished speeches, the managed news headlines that are all the hallmarks of a communist country like China, India, yes, India is quietly stepping into the space, and China is losing that space in their relationship, not just with the United States, but the rest of the world. So today, let's pull back the curtain and take a closer look as to what's really going on in Asia. Today, let's pull back the curtain, take a look at what's going on with the China-India relationship, and maybe more importantly, how it affects you right here in the United States, because the end of the day is what affects the United States affects Canada, affects the UK, and affects the rest of the planet. So China's strength really is a power that they're hiding their cracks, because Beijing likes to project power, but they never want to come clean with the rest of the world. So if you think about it, Beijing is saying that they are defying their tariffs, they are downplaying any debt that they have, and their country has massive debt. They're denying economic downturns, which I think is kind of crazy if you think about it as well. But behind the scenes, a completely different story is going on. For instance, there is a massive youth unemployment inside of China. Right now, it's like at record highs, but you've never heard about that. Property markets, well, you might have heard something about that, and they are a shambles. They're frozen, and there's a huge upside down market in China, and it's not going to go away overnight. But it actually gets a little bit worse because local banks are quietly collapsing in China. And China's silence about this really isn't self-confidence. It's really survival mode, because they have to play the role that they're doing really well when all reality, they're in trouble. India moves quietly while China bleeds. This week, Vice President Vance and his wife Ursula, who is Indian, visited India. And I think it's a super powerful moment between the United States and India. It's not necessarily all about photo ops, but they were there for a much deeper handshaking and maybe a building relationship, because what an amazing opportunity in American history and Indian history that in such a way maybe marries the two countries together. And if you think I'm a little bit crazy about this, just hear me out, because India is stepping into leadership roles once dominated by China. And the fact is that stronger U.S. trade routes are part of the equation, but boy, there's some deeper tech partnerships that are going on as well. And I'm not always saying that India has been a perfect partner, nor has all the relationships in the past worked well. It's a tough place to do business still for U.S. companies, but I'm here to say that there's collaboration and an increased desire to work together. And when countries see that there's a benefit to India and a benefit to the United States, let alone the rest of the world, then all of a sudden when the United States and India mark military collaboration as well, it makes people in countries like China super nervous, and they should be. So while China clamps down, India moves in to occupy that new space being created by everyone's suspicious of China. They're moving in very quietly, but they're moving in powerfully, and India's a country that must be reckoned with. So China does have some shrinking influence globally, and it's nothing that the United States has done. It's nothing that India nor Europe has done to China. China has kind of put themselves in a bad position because in many ways they've been kind of overplaying their hand. And now the buzzards are coming home to roost. That's all. The fact is that isolation really is a slow killer of a country's economy. While China retreats inward, India opens up outward. India's inviting investment. India is inviting foreign opportunities. India is repositioning itself as the quiet alternative to China, and the world is really taking notice, even though the headlines are staying quiet. So if there's a Wizard of Oz moment, I would ask you this question. There's big fire, there's big smoke, there's big fear. But behind China's curtain, there's mounting debt, there's rising dissent, and there's fraying alliances all over the world. Z may look strong, but the foundations are shifting. And when the foundation of a home shifts, it eventually collapses. So the real question isn't whether China is blinking. The big question becomes, will there be anyone left willing to back them when they do? And that moment is going to happen. Trust me. And with that, stay sharp, stay skeptical of the news cycle, and we'll keep pulling the curtain back and providing you with the best information possible. And once again, your comments matter. I want to remind every single one of my viewers and the new people viewing that the biggest battle we're fighting is the one between our ears. Stay healthy, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you personally for this channel hitting over 100 subscribers. We are like a super new channel, but you have been so incredibly encouraging. I want to keep on providing quality videos to you, and the best way to get those delivered right to your inbox is with a subscription. So with that, I'll see you later. Have a great day.